Lace up your tap shoes and get those jazz hands ready, because this week we're clickity-clacking our way into tapping, a.k.a. emotional freedom technique, or EFT, which is a form of somatic therapy that's worlds different from tap dancing, so I'm not really sure why you wore your tap shoes. Frankly, that feels a little inappropriate. In Hobby Collectors, Grace covers what tapping is, why it's so beneficial for ADHDers, and how to use it during those times when you're aimlessly wandering about the house like an anxious ghoul woman of the night. Plus, Kristin goes full jart, learns the basics of driving, and we both suffer embarrassingly mundane injuries, not to mention a serious case of Abbaritus. This segs-only episode may be a bit of a sloppy cheeseburger, but like the late great Elvis once said, I like mine with lettuce and tomato, Heinz 57 and French fried potatoes. And we couldn't agree more. Fuck.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn. And most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention. There's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather. Ah! Caw-caw! Is that how we should start?
Yeah, I think the listeners will really enjoy it. You guys know the song. You know the words. Join in.
Join in if you
Sometimes alone and I said I think about her and it hurts me. Oh, we just love ABBA.
Yep.
Big fans.
That song will never leave my head.
It won't get out of my head. It's been in there all weekend.
Well, now it's in my head.
Sorry.
It's like a virus.
Sorry, not sorry. But a beautiful virus.
ABBA virus. Abivirus.
No.
Abbarivirus.
You're so close.
I'm going to get it.
Keep working it out.
Abbadabba virus.
Yep, that's it. Abacadabra virus.
Abba
ding dong.
Abbaritus. That sounds like
a disease.
Yeah.
I got a bad case of Abbaritus. That's kind of what it is.
Kind of like, oh, we got it.
Because you can't get out of your head. Got Abbaritus. All right, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Weirds of Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristin.
And I'm your host, Grace.
Welcome.
And we have ABBA stuck in our head.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed.
And now you do as well, probably.
So, sorry for that. Almost.
It's called Angel Eyes, by the way, if you're going to look it up, because it took me a long time to figure out what was stuck in my head.
It's also a TikTok sound.
Yes.
Anyway, we've got a show for you today. This is a segs-only.
Yep.
Segs-only. I'm excited because this is something I don't really know anything about.
I'm excited to teach you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a student.
So I'm going to be talking about tapping / EFT during our Hobby Collectors. But first...
So get your shoes ready. Get your tap shoes ready.
Get those tap shoes ready. Lace them up. And
not that type of tapping.
No, I wish. I wish it was tap dancing. Although,
but we should definitely clarify that it is not tapping.
That would probably be a difficult topic to
I took tap.
verbally talk about.
I tap.
So first you move your feet like this, boo, boo, boo. And then you shuffle over to the side like this, ba, ba, ba. No, we're talking about a different kind of tapping, but maybe at some point, Kristin, you can talk about your tap dancing experience.
I mean, it was quite a while ago.
Well, one of our loyal listeners, B-Rain, we talked about B-Rain at some point. Sorry for putting this on the podcast, Brian, but I will always remember this for some reason. I'm sorry for making fun of you at the time. He did tap until 6th grade.
I did tap until 6th grade.
Yeah, but I think it has just a different social implication when you're a boy, unfortunately.
Sure.
And I think he was a little embarrassed about it.
B-Rain. We need to tap together.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. tapping is a respectable form of dance.
It's hard.
Yeah, it looks really hard.
That's why I think I took it until 5th grade, and then in 6th grade I was like, all right, I'm going to focus just on ballet, and then I found out what sports were, and I was like, oh, this is much better. Anyway, should we get into our first segment? This is Who I Am Now?
Yes.
All
let's do it. Oh, wait. Okay. Yes. Should we throw Enya's song in here for This Is Who I Am Now?
Yes, but yes.
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 Yes. She has recorded us.
Enya, one of our great listeners, has recorded a song for us about This Is Who I Am Now, and we love it. So we're going to throw it in so you can all listen to her and her beautiful voice because it's much better than ours.
Yes, seriously, so much. So enjoy this new intro of This Is Who I Am Now.
Thank you, Enya. Cue the music.
This time it's different. I could never get bored of this. Shut up and let me talk about why this is who I am now. Who I am now.
Angelic.
Magical.
I have a tear running down because it's so beautiful, but
You do.
you can't see it because this is an audio medium.
That's the problem.
But anyway,
Kristin,
yeah.
tell us, who are you now?
Well, I have an update.
Okay. Update.
I've doubled down on my jart face.
Oh.
I just went out the other day and I bought the full size, not just the mini size.
You're going full jart?
I'm full jart. Full-fledged jart.
You're a full-fledged jart.
And I have no regrets. And I'm wearing it today. How great do I look?
Your skin looks lovely.
No redness, right? No.
It's beautiful. I got to try this jart face cream.
You have no redness.
Sometimes I do have redness, and I'm
Okay.
sick of you gaslighting me about my skin,
Well, I'm
telling
just
me I
saying
don't
that you
have
have
any
beautiful,
skin problems.
beautiful skin.
So do you. You're just not
It's
able
'cause
to
of the
see yourself
jart.
clearly.
It's because I'm jarting it up.
Well, I would also like to jart it up.
I think you should.
I will.
I'll bring it next time.
Also, I had a panic moment last week where I was thinking about jart and how much I've made fun of it.
Yeah.
And then I had this panic moment of like, oh my God, is this like the caftans where I'm like kind of being light and jokey about this thing? And
I
I'm
remember
actually
you
like being very culturally insensitive, just like making fun of a Korean person's last name.
Yeah.
Because jart cream is obviously Korean
Yes.
because Korea just has the most
The best
incredible skincare products.
Yeah. Also the highest rate of plastic surgery. Fun fact.
Good to know.
They often give it as a gift when you graduate a certain level of schooling.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
It's their culture. I don't know. It's like a common practice over there.
Yes, but a lot of it is based in like white beauty standards, like
Very
having
true.
the eye surgery.
Right.
So,
The eye surgery, and they have the creams that cause what is called hypopigmentation, which is usually for you and I would be like an adverse side effect, but they take these creams and they use them as, and hopefully the adverse side effect is like the full effect to lighten their skin.
Oh, like skin whitening.
Skin lightening cream.
Yeah, that makes me sad because Western society has just like infiltrated every country and it's disgusting.
Yep.
Anyways,
Any hoozle.
I just had this realization where I was like, jart cream is most likely Korean. I should look this up. I was like, God damn it. I'm going to have to do another apology of I'm sorry, Dr. Jart. But then I went on the website and not only do I feel vindicated, I feel like I want to double down on making fun of Jart because Jart is not someone's last name. They made up the word Jart on purpose. It's, what is it?
It's a
something plus art.
joined art or something.
What is it?
Cue the music. Dr. Jart. By the way, I would love to make a commercial for Dr. Jart, but like obviously they're not going to sponsor it.
Yes. Oh, here's what it is. This is making me angry all over again.
Let's hear it. Dr. Jart.
The website says Dr. Jart is not a doctor. Dr. Jart is a philosophy. It stands for Doctor Joins Art. I hate that.
I hate it.
So Jart, the J comes from joins. I fucking hate that. It's so stupid. Dr. Joins Art, Dr. Jart. So when I read that, I was like, thank God I'm not just straight up like making fun of someone's name.
I hate it.
I hate it.
I'm not going to stop using it. I'm still a full Jart face.
For your full Jart face.
I'm full blown Jart. But
the only redeeming factor that could come into play is if we ever talked to the people who came up with Jart and they were like, oh yeah, isn't that a funny name? I'd be like, okay, good. You like acknowledge that this is a crazy word that sounds ridiculous, but I have a feeling they're very serious about Dr. Join's art.
The day we get to talk to the creators of Dr. Jart is the day when we've truly made it.
Yes. Put Dr. Jart as a whole.
Dr. Jart, if you're out there,
dream guest
please
list.
email us at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com.
All right, go. Sorry to jump in there.
Okay, so I'm doubling down on my Jart face.
Yep.
I have no regrets, even though it's a stupid name.
Yes.
Okay.
But your skin looks lovely, so.
But this is who I am now.
Yes.
Today. I am obsessed. And we kind of brushed on it earlier in a previous episode. I'm obsessed with Facebook Marketplace. Like, I have no control anymore.
Yeah,
I wake
you're
up.
always sending me stuff on Facebook
I'm
Marketplace.
always sending you stuff. I'm sending Christopher stuff. I just scan it all the time. I update my feed all the time to look for Facebook Marketplace stuff. I only get a couple things.
Yeah.
But I'm always on the hunt for God knows what.
Just things for your house.
Things for my house.
You just moved in. You probably need a lot of things.
I need a lot of things, but the things that are on there. I also and I do this with Craigslist too. I love to critique people's photography on Facebook Market. Don't let the first picture be a close up of an armchair, you know?
Yeah.
Don't have one picture and it's half the chair or half of the lamp or the lampshade only. I can buy a different shade. I'm not here for the shade. I'm here for the actual lamp, you know?
I agree.
You're just why did you think this was a great decision? You know? They're here's some photos I figured out. You got to advertise.
Well, it's probably people who are they barely got that post up, you know? It's they're just trying their best. They don't know how Facebook Marketplace works.
You know, if you're asking, especially on Craigslist, when people are I want, $800 for this, but you're going to get one picture and I'm going to give no dimensions.
Yeah, that's my thing. The description of the dimensions is why not just put them in there? You must have people reaching out to you being how tall is the stool? How tall is the stool? How tall is the stool? Just put it in the description.
Right. I saw one on Craigslist the other day. It was a desk because I'm looking for a new desk. And it was just covered with papers. And I'm I don't even know what this is. It's oak desk. And I'm cool. I wish I could see what it looked like.
That's so bizarre. It was move the papers.
Just covered with papers. The other one was another desk. And right in front of it was a very easily easily movable metal statue of a stork. But they didn't move it. So the whole time you're wow, I really wish this statue was moved so I could see this desk. Just move the statue. It's right there.
It's so bizarre. I feel this could go under things that make us irrationally angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. Also, I guess I'll save my rant for later because we have a show to do. But
yeah, we do.
I'm obsessed for two different reasons. One, because I like to see what's out there. And two, because I like to judge.
All right. Those are two great reasons.
I would love to have
anything.
maybe we could do it one day if we ever get on Discord. We'll just go on Facebook or Craigslist together and judge people's photography skills.
All right. That sounds great. I'd be down for that.
And 2 other people will be interested.
Yep. And if you're those 2 people, let us know.
Let us know at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. We'll set up a time and a date.
Yep. And we'll be there.
Grace, who are you now?
Who am I?
Who are you?
I had something else written down, but I don't want to do that one. I want to do something else because I recently am a big Willie Nelson listener.
Really?
I'm kind of going through another phase. Yeah.
Nice. Another phase.
Well,
so this isn't even your first Willie Nelson phase.
No, definitely not. My dad loves Willie Nelson, and he always had Willie Nelson playing when I was younger. And so I've always enjoyed Willie, a little Willie. Plus, he's a big stoner, and I respect that about him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's kind of easy old man listening.
Good braids.
He's got great braids. I love that Willie.
Braid ahead.
I think it all started because Ian and I started watching Elvis, the new movie Elvis.
No.
About Elvis.
Oh. I'm glad you clarified.
Good thing I said that. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Ah.
But anyways, he has a song in there that Willie Nelson also does, and that kind of took me down the rabbit hole.
Margaritaville.
Yep. That's neither of them. I love that Willie/Elvis classic. Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Nothing better.
Is that Jimmy Buffett?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Margaritaville, he literally has a chain of restaurants called Margaritaville.
I've never been to them.
I've seen one in passing.
We'll have to go one day.
I've heard it's fun.
If you'd like to meet us at Margaritaville.
They're down south.
Yeah.
We got to go down south.
Oh, they're south?
Yeah. The one I saw was when I was living in South Carolina for a hot sec. And then I know there's one like down in Florida. So
I heard the Cracker Barrels down south are better too.
I've never been to a Cracker Barrel, and I don't intend to.
I guess the only one I went to was in a southern state, so I had a great time.
Oh. Well, anyways, the song that Elvis was doing in this movie reminded me, oh yeah, I think Willie Nelson also covers this song. I go to find it on Spotify. Before you know it, I'm deep in that Willie rabbit hole, and I'm just listening to Willie before bed.
Oh.
And it's lovely and soothing. I really like, there's one album, I think it's called Stardust, and he has a lot of great jams on there, like All of Me.
I don't think I've ever...
All of me. Why not take all of me?
Got it. Yeah.
Just soft, easy listening. Anyway, I'm just really enjoying this phase, this
easy
Willie
rock.
phase. Yeah, easy rock. And yeah, that's who I am now. I'm a big Willie Nelson listener.
Are you going to braid your hair in solidarity?
I might start wearing a bandana.
Yeah, I think you should. It's a good look.
Maybe I'll even take up weed.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Let
us mosey into I'm So Quirky.
Get my kizzy. I gotta get my kizzy. Let me warm up a little bit.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I'm warmed up.
All right. Let it rip. Some people call me spacey, some people call me fun, but I'm just quirky.
Nice.
Lovely as always.
I gotta practice more. Do you? I've been going downhill.
Yeah, you're really letting it fall by the wayside.
All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Why don't I go first, and then you can share yours, because then I'm going to talk a lot in Hobby Collectors.
Sure. Save your baby breath.
I'll save that baby breath.
Yeah.
We only got a few seconds.
Yep.
All right. Quirk number 1.
Yeah.
Our recent sensory episode made me think of some sensory quirks that I have on top of my many others that I've talked about before. Number 1.
The sensory episode hasn't been released yet. Yes, it has.
As of when this will come out, it will have been released.
Okay, sorry. Got confused.
Come on, Kristin.
I'm sorry.
It is hard to mentally keep track of it. It's like, okay,
we had a spreadsheet, and then nope.
I got a mental spreadsheet.
You got a mental spreadsheet.
Yes. It works perfectly because I've never messed up episode numbers. I've never messed any of that up. I never get confused.
We never double, triple check.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like, okay, we're recording episode 33 or whatever this day. It'll come out this day, and then I have to edit on this day. And so it's just a lot of moving parts.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Sensory episode came out.
It's already come out. You guys have heard it. You know it. You love it. One of my sensory quirks. I cannot stand the gritty toothpaste that they use at the dentist.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
Ooh.
I fucking hate it.
You know what? So I don't like it, but what I do like to do is I like to they put it in, and then I rub my lips against my gums to grind it into a smaller grit. And then I get yelled at by the hygienist is like,
why are you doing that?
And I'm just like, yeah.
All right, this should be one of your quirks as well. Because what the fuck?
To get it to the grit, to break up the grit.
They'll do that.
I know, but I'm helping.
It doesn't sound like she wants your help.
No. That's why I don't go to the dentist.
Yes. Okay, well, that also kind of made me think, if you also hate the gritty toothpaste, ask your dentist if they can use the salt spray instead.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, it's this thing that my mom discovered, I guess, because we go to the same dental hygienist, and my mom had it done, and she was like, you got to ask for the salt spray. And so I did, and it's like a high-pressured, salt water that they blast on your teeth, and it feels really good. It doesn't feel, at least for me, it doesn't bother me sensory-wise. I kind of like it. It feels like power washing a house, where they're really just and it takes the top layer of grime or whatever off your teeth.
I love
the stains.
The feeling after you go to the dentist. I hate the buildup.
Same. So do
I've I always I'm not very good at flossing.
Same.
And that's the one they're like, we know you haven't flossed. I'm like, can you not be so mean about it?
Stop judging me.
Okay. Well, I made it here, right?
Tracy has an episode actually about dentistry problems and how ADHD.
Tracy from
ADHD for Smartass Women.
Thank you.
Can't I just talk about her casually as if
No,
we're all friends with her?
Just like how you casually talk about our friends that no one else knows.
Well, people know Tracy because they found our podcast because of Tracy.
Not everybody, though. Some
You're
people
right. All
found
right.
it organically.
Tracy Otsuka from ADHD for Smart Ass Women with Tracy Otsuka.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, but she did an episode a little bit back about how ADHDers are more likely to have dental issues because of a lot of different reasons. Like we avoid it, like the sensory stuff that we talked about, putting things off. We don't want to be shamed, and so we put it off even more.
Right.
We have trouble with like consistent behaviors like brushing our teeth, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, if you have any dentistry stuff going on and you feel shitty about it, go check out that episode because it'll make you feel better because it's not just you. I think she even talked about a study in that said around like only 40%, maybe it was kids, but it was talking about how maybe only 40% of ADHD kids like brush their teeth every day.
What?
And it might have been adults as well. So yeah, there's nothing
Here's
to be
a PSA.
There's nothing to be ashamed about.
You got to brush your teeth every day.
No, I'm literally saying there's nothing to be ashamed about. If people can't, yes, you should brush your teeth every day, hygiene-wise. In theory, I know how difficult it is. It's very boring for people. And so, there's a sensory element. It's
true.
Something you have to do every single day. Like
some people don't like mint.
Lily hates the taste of toothpaste. Any toothpaste. She hates
really?
it.
Not even the cinnamon?
Yeah, she doesn't like any toothpaste taste. And I've known kids who are like
what
that.
What does she use for toothpaste? The salt spray.
Lily, reach out to us. What do you use
Lily,
for toothpaste?
as in Grace's sister that no one else knows?
Now they know who Lily is. At some point,
some people don't listen to all the episodes in a row.
But at some point, I'm gonna have to be able to just say Lily, just like you say Christopher. And I'm not like,
that's because Christopher was
explained
on the show.
Well, maybe people haven't listened to that episode yet.
Oh, very true.
Boom, flip it.
Boom. Okay.
All
More
right.
quirks. Let's keep them going.
Stop talking about the dentist, Kristin. All right. Another sensory quirk. I can't use paper straws. I hate the way they feel on my teeth.
I totally get it.
Stop giving me fucking paper straws. You're not saving the environment.
Just give me. No.
No, it's just all performative.
Right.
And paper straws are really difficult for people with disabilities to use, whether it's sensory reason like us,
right,
or someone has difficulty with like suction or drinking, or they have to use a straw. The paper straw doesn't give you that proper like seal and suction. So if someone has like a weakened sucking system, they are going to not be able to get that pressure buildup in the paper straws. So it literally is like can be very, very difficult for people with disabilities to use paper straws. So it's like out of all the things we're going to change to act like we're saving the environment.
Yeah, it's all performative anyway.
Yeah, but oh no, we saw a picture of a straw up a turtle's nose. And so now let's, shut the whole thing down, which, that's important. I care about the turtles. I don't want them to have straws in their noses. But why don't we start with like giant corporations not polluting the earth before we focus on straws?
Let's focus on the Roundup company.
Yes.
Just leaking carcinogens everywhere.
Yeah. Or
the fertilizer that gets leaked in, and then all of a sudden we have like lakes with a huge algae problem. It's choking out the fish life, But
no. Straws are the real key to climate change.
Because the blame is focused on the individual and not these huge groups that are like making millions and billions of dollars. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway. All right.
Moving on. Last quirk. Let's go.
God, this is going to be the longest episode of our life.
I'm already thinking about it's going to be long.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Last one. My third quirk. Kristin, you're going to be mean to me about this one.
What?
I take forever to leave the house or get out of the car.
Oh, wait, the car thing. No, I just sit in the car when I get home from work. And Christopher, what he does now is, because I usually get home after him, and then I sit in the car. And now that we're, in a house where he can see that I am home,
yes,
he'll go up to like the screen door and he'll flash me. And we live on a pretty busy road.
Yeah.
And he'll just sit there and he's got like a huge chest stomach tattoo. So he'll just tattoos and all until I realize that he's there. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Well, mine isn't so much sitting in the car. It's like we get to a destination.
Yeah.
We're all getting out of the car, gather your things. Like when we went to Pete's place last week, like the secondhand junkyard store. And
Pete's Place, not Pizza Place.
Yeah, Pete's Place.
Oh, I thought you said Pizza Place.
No,
I was
Pete's
like,
Place.
we did not get pizza. I would have remembered that.
When the fuck did we get pizza? No, Pete's Place. But it just takes me forever, and Ian always gives me shit about it because I have to like gather all my things. I got to take a drink of water, take my water out of the bag because I don't want to carry it around. Got to, just gather all my things. And I don't know. I guess it just takes
You have to collect yourself.
Yes. And it takes me so much longer than
does.
Everyone else. Even you and Gracie, our friend Gracie, who also has ADHD. And even amongst you guys, I still take a very long time to get out of the car. I'm so quirky.
You're so quirky.
All right, Kristin, what are your quirks?
This is just like a series about my bobby pins.
Okay.
It's not really like 1, 2, 3. It's more of like just a whole schmorg about my bobby pins.
All right.
Backstory. I have curly hair. With curly hair comes flyaways. With flyaways come bobby pins. They're very useful. I have a lot of them.
Me too.
I use them every day. But they are small, and I lose them.
Yes.
And this is why we're here. Christopher started calling my bobby pins Robert's pins, which now I have realized he got from Ian, your husband.
Maybe he came up with it himself because I feel like it's not a far jump from Bobby to Roberts.
In cahoots with each other. I know they are.
Yes, Ian has called them Robert's pins for a long time. And
Okay.
he'll always tell me, I found some of your Robert's pins.
Okay, so that Christopher definitely got it from Ian.
Yeah, maybe.
So he started calling my bobby pins Robert's pins. And
so
now
funny.
I call them Robert's pins. I can't not call them Robert's pins anymore.
You want to be formal.
It is formal.
Yes.
It's so formal. He's like, I found some of your Robert's pins. I'm like, okay. But here's the thing. So usually when I get home from work, I usually put my hair in a bun to get it in a cap. You got to control the mess.
Yes.
But then when I get home, I usually take my bun out and redo it or take out at least the bobby pins because sometimes they're bother me, Then I leave them everywhere. I've left them on the dining room table, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the breezeway, outside. I've found them in the grass, on the steps, in my car, on my desk at work, in the rug in our living room that we're going to tear about, in the couch, at Christopher's computer that I never go to. They're there. Why are they there?
What are they doing there? Robert.
And I get these little doom piles of bobby pins because it's never just one. It's always 5.
Yes.
Oh, I've lost many to scrub pants because I put them back in the scrub machine and then they're gone forever. Wherever. And then, I try to pick them up, but I always miss some. But usually when I pick them up, I just put them back in my hair and then they go into a doom pile somewhere else when I get bored of them. So it's just this cycle of ever revolving bobby pins, Robert's pins.
I think you need to have a little container in every main room of the house where you could put
I have a little, I got those Yoplait the yogurt things. They come in No, the ones that...
Are you not finishing that word?
O-U-I,
No, I don't know it. Never heard of it.
They're yogurts, but they come in a glass jar.
Oh, the little fancy ones?
And they don't have a cover, and it's very annoying. And you're like, what am I going to do with this glass jar? Because I can't just throw it away.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bobby pins.
Yeah.
Robert's pins.
And I don't think it's enough to just have one in the bathroom because it sounds like you're finding them everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think have little jars in every room of the house, and then you can just put them in there.
That's a great strategy.
Right?
Because this is what happens. I lose all of them. I lose them all. I go through these phases where I all of a sudden I'm down to my last 2 pins.
And then you keep those forever.
I keep them forever.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, I need to get more. So then I go and I buy more. And you can't just buy a couple. It's always these mega packs.
Yes.
So you spend $8 on a mega pack. And then I walk through the house with my mega pack. And then I'm like, oh, here's a doom pile. There's a doom pile. There's all my Robert's pins. And now I have double Robert's pins.
Well, I think it speaks to a kind of vicious cycle that we get into with most things as ADHDers, where you buy a whole new thing. You're like, holy shit, I have so many bobby pins. And then you're kind of careless with it. Yeah. Because you're like, I have so many. These are just 2. I'll just.
Hair elastics.
Yes. Same with hair elastic. Anything little that comes in bulk, or even money, where it's when you get down to the very bottom, you're like, ah, shit. Now I realize I'm almost out of this thing. I better be very careful and very frugal and make sure everything lasts. And you're so good with it. And you're like, what if I just acted this way all the time? Even if I had a ton of bobby pins and I was this careful with them. And then you get to the very end and then you buy more bobby pins and then the cycle just continues.
Right.
Where you're just like, whoa, look at this surplus of bobby pins.
So many bobby pins.
I can be so irresponsible with them because I have so many. And then you're out again.
Just Same with hair elastics.
Yep.
I leave them everywhere.
I do it with chapstick. I can't have more than one chapstick going at once. Otherwise, I'll lose all of them. I have to only have one. I can only be responsible for one. If I know there's a backup, I'm going to be irresponsible with it.
I think the bobby pins, it's like I find them everywhere. I like wash my pants and I'm like, bobby pin.
Yeah, I'll stuff them in my pocket and then they'll just come out in the washing machine.
Which your mom just yelled at you for.
Yes, she found a ton of bobby pins in the washing machine.
Yeah, I'm going to say most of those are probably mine. Yes. So sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks for taking that for me.
On behalf of my mom, I'm going to say it's okay, Kristin, and I forgive you.
Oh, man. I'm so quirky.
You're so quirky. All
right. Now it's time for get your shoes ready.
Yep. If you can't tell, we're tapping our feet around, even though we're talking about a different kind of tapping, and that's misleading.
Should we play the song by
Jane
Olsen? Find her on SoundCloud. She's a composer, and her music is beautiful.
Yep, here it is.
Thank you, Jane.
We are the collectors. These are our hobbies. We are the collectors, and these are our hobbies. We are the collectors, and these are our hobbies. We are the collectors. Hobby collectors.
All right.
Hobby collectors.
Ian sometimes will come up behind me and he'll go, hobby collectors. And it always makes me laugh.
It's a great song.
It is.
Let's get into tapping.
Yeah.
Let's tap our way into this segment.
Oh, so clever, Kristin.
I'll have to send you.
Should we use a picture of you tap dancing as a child?
That's exactly what I was going to think for that.
For this cover photo?
Yeah.
It'll be even more confusing. Great idea. Way to clear things up. All right. This hobby collectors, I am talking about tapping/EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique.
Tapping.
Yes, which stands for Emotional Freedom Tapping. No, Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping, as it is commonly referred to. So what this is you tap on specific points on your body, so like tapping with your fingers, while focusing on the emotion that you're feeling in your body and thinking about the issue that you want resolved. EFT works by tapping with your fingertips on various meridians/acupuncture points around the body. This tapping serves to balance energy meridians, which become disrupted when you think about an emotionally disturbing circumstance or memory. With tapping, the actual memory stays the same, but the emotional charge is gone. So essentially, if you have, it doesn't have to be like a big traumatic memory, although that also works, but it can even be, just anxiety about this project that you have coming up that you feel whenever you think of it, you get that like flutter in your chest or sickness in your stomach. And so you're like, don't think about it. Those things that you're pushing down, Kristin.
What?
Tapping essentially is you're bringing that emotion up in your body and you're like feeling it in your body. So I use an app called the Tapping Solution. I wish they were. What?
All I can think of is someone like you gotta tap your way out of it, and they're like jazz hands.
Yeah,
but it's tap hands,
just like that.
I'm keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, stop picturing.
This is something I'm gonna have to get over.
Yes, we should have done a tapping session before this, so you would see what it was like. But essentially, your emotions are stored in your body.
Yep.
And when you have this moment of, remembering this anxious thought, stressful thought, whatever it is.
All the time.
Instead of just burying it down and going, la, 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 don't think about it.
Yep.
Tapping.
That's my go-to.
Yeah, same. But tapping has you hold onto that, kind of really try to lean into it, feel that emotion in your body, and think about what is causing you that stress. And then as you're tapping on these different points in your body, you'll kind of say these different phrases. The app that I have will take you through it. There are things on YouTube also, like guided tapping sessions. The app isn't my favorite because sometimes the couple that does it, it's like the only tapping app that I found out there so far. So it's decent and I use it a lot because it's my only choice. But they'll suddenly kind of randomly throw in like kind of fat phobic stuff.
What?
I'm doing like an anxiety tapping and it'll be all about like releasing this anxiety from my body. And then it'll be like, I am comfortable in my body and I feel like they'll just kind of go into this whole weird thing about how like I am releasing like fear of gaining weight or whatever. Or I'm like, what? This wasn't the thing I was tapping on. So
they're like, you're like tap, tap, tap. And then they're like, you're fat.
I'm releasing the idea that I'm a big fatso and everyone hates me. Like, that wasn't the issue that I was tapping on, but thanks for...
Now I have more issues to tap about.
Yeah, thanks for throwing that in there. Oh, maybe that's a business strategy where they're like, get rid of one issue, replace it with another one. So
we can't make them too emotionally stable.
Yeah, God forbid.
They'll never tap again.
So the app...
I've hung up my shoes.
You're confusing people.
Yeah,
so the app itself is not my favorite, but it's a good
what
option.
What app is it called again?
The tapping solution.
Okay, that's right.
So, yeah.
I gotta download it now. Oh my God.
Yes. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm sorry if there are randomly like kind of weight loss things thrown into these tapping sessions, but there are a ton of options for a bunch of different like topics and feelings that you can tap on. So you can really use tapping.
Tap on this.
We're never going to get through this segment. Let's just acknowledge the fact that tapping is also a form of dance. And we have accepted that. And we know that.
Okay.
And we know that it is a silly type of dance.
Yeah, it is so silly.
This is not as silly.
We're going to get some hate mail from tappers.
Yes, we are. B-Rain. He's going to be first on our list, knocking at our door. All right. This is all over the place.
Tapping at our door.
Ba-do-boo. God.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right.
I really want to learn about this. Okay.
Do you?
I do.
I don't know if you do.
I do. No, I actually, this has been like on my list of like things Grace does that you should probably learn.
Okay. Well, sit down and shut up and learn.
Okay. I'm trying. I wish they would call it anything else.
I know. I'll call it EFT if you would like.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All
but
right.
I'm going to have to still say tap because that's the action that you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
No, I'm just need to be a little bit more mature about it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see. I don't even know where I was, but I'm essentially going to jump back into what I have written.
Okay.
So you're tapping on these different points in the body as you're kind of bringing up the emotion and then releasing it. So you really are working to feel it in your body, and then you're working on, you can still think about this memory, but essentially as you tap on these acupressure points and you are saying these phrases like, I am safe in my body, I'm not a big old fatso.
I'm not a fatty McGee.
Fatty Magoo.
Oh my God.
So then you're able to kind of think of these memories, but you're not feeling as much emotional reaction in your body. And then after a few times of tapping on this like specific issue, you can now think about this thing without doing the like, oh, don't think about it. Like you can, and I've done it and it sounds crazy until you do it. And now I have some things that I've been really stressing about and I've been tapping on them. And now I am finding that instead of trying to avoid thinking about it, letting myself think about it. And I'm really not feeling that like sick feeling in my chest.
You're like processing your emotions.
Yes. It's
right?
like I can think about it and I'm not having that immediate panic response.
So as you're tapping on certain pressure points, you're thinking about the stressor, you're thinking about the emotional response, and then you're releasing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of, there are a few phases of it because you do have to do that first part of whether you're going to tap like right in the moment. Let's say you're working at home and you've been avoiding this task. This is a very specific example of something I did the other day. I had this big stressful task to do that I've been putting off. I had some like emotion behind it of, feeling like fear of not doing it right, or it's kind of an ambiguous task. So I just really am avoiding it. Instead of trying to just avoid that feeling of me avoiding this work, I sat with that and I put on a little tapping session about stress, and I kept that emotion in my body of why I feel so stressed about this, fear of failure, fear of rejection or not being perfect or whatever. And then I was able to kind of let it go. And then I was able to sit down and do my work and I didn't feel anxious about it. And I just like got into it.
Wait a minute.
Let the anxiety out of my body.
What?
Yeah. It was crazy. I was like, oh, wow, this works. Turns out the research is right. But we don't believe it until we try it ourselves, which is always the case.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can either do it like directly in the moment as you're having this like anxiety response, stress response, fear response, or I do it before bed sometimes because that's often when a lot of my like anxious thoughts come up about the next day and how much I have to do. So when you're doing it outside of the moment, you just have to spend a little more time kind of bringing that emotion back up in your body and really like feeling it in your body, and then you can release it. So the points that are tapped on are, did I say this? Are acupuncture meridian points, which have been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. So I don't want to gloss over that, the fact that this wasn't taken from traditional Chinese medicine, but the concept kind of grew out of those acupuncture points and kind of what acupuncture can do for your body.
Got it.
Like calming down your nervous system. So essentially tapping is a combination of Eastern medicine and Western psychology. The body is composed of energy pathways or meridians that connect in with your cells, organs, thoughts, and emotions. So EFT is based on an important discovery that a thought or a memory from trauma or stress can cause a disruption and blockages in the electromagnetic energy system of the body. So tapping is done on those specified meridian points, 9 of the many identified. So you're tapping on 9 out of the many different identified ancient acupressure points. And for EFT, you're tapping on these different points on the face, body, and hands.
Where on the face?
So you start with a karate chop point. No, you start with a karate chop point on the side of your hand. So you're tapping like this with your fingers, your fingertips on the outside side of your hand.
Yeah.
And then you go to eyebrow point. So like your inner eyebrow on one. You can just do it on one side. I think some people do it on both sides at the same time.
One eyebrow at a time?
No, you only have to do like one side of your face as you're tapping. But
do you switch hands?
Sometimes I do just because I'm getting tired.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the technicalities of like exactly if it's okay to switch hands, if you should be doing two sides I see people doing only one side at the same time, where they'll just kind of go through all the different acupressure points on one side of the face. But I don't think it matters if you switch. I don't think it matters if you do both sides of the face at the same time, like you can. But just for preservation's sake, it does get a little tiring to be tapping on all these points. So I'll kind of switch tapping hands as I go. But so you do the inner eyebrow, then you do side of the eye, then you do under the eye, kind of like on your cheek, right under that eye, under the nose, on the chin, and then you do on the collarbone. And then the last one is like under your arm, kind of like right next to your boob.
Side boob.
Yeah, side boob, like under your armpit.
I usually give my side boob a little pat anyway.
Well, perfect. You're primed and ready.
Yeah.
You're ready to do this.
You hung in there.
Yeah. So
literally. No.
So if you do like a guided tapping session, whether it's the app or you're going on YouTube, or if you have a better source, let me know, because that would be great. Because I know that like different therapists also use tapping. It's an alternative form of therapy. So it might be difficult to find therapists who do tapping, but there's growing research behind it that it really does have these legit studied benefits. So
interesting.
Yeah, you can have a therapist like take you through like guided longer form sessions. And I think you could probably have a script made specifically for the issue that you're tapping on, because they're all kind of general because you're just listening to it on an app. So it's just talking about like stress in general, but then you either out loud or like in your mind can gear it towards like a very specific issue that you're tapping on,
Now, when you write the script for yourself, do you say like, I am not going to worry about my job right now?
No, I've never written a script for myself because there is quite a bit involved in it. So I would definitely use the guided ones for now. Okay. If you were to like work with a therapist or something, they could kind of help you come up with specifically what you want to say, because, it does have to be it needs to be done a certain way to talk to your inner self. And like there's a money one that I do of tapping about like stress about money. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to say like, I don't worry about money, I always have money, I have plenty, it's more like it'll take you through like, what would happen if I were to release some of this stress about money? Is thinking about this right now doing anything, essentially? So it's actually very well done. It'll kind of ask you those different questions that you're answering, and it'll just kind of like talk you through this emotion. So tapping on those 9 points in the body, they help relax our sympathetic nervous system, or our fight or flight mode.
Got it.
And bring us to a calmer state. Tapping can also be done while talking through or focusing on a specific problem, worry, or emotion. So if you just feel like you're kind of in that anxious tizzy of like shuffling around the house, not really being able to get anything done, but you're
ADHD paralysis,
yes,
which
you're
we
like
should talk about
overwhelmed,
one day.
Yeah, and you're kind of just stuck in that fight or flight mode. Your brain is kind of offline because you're in survival mode, essentially. Mm-hmm. Tapping will take you out of that survival mode, and then you're able to like use logical thought. Yes. And it's really hard to get yourself to do because I'm always like, there's no time. I have to keep.
I can't just sit here and tap. I must panic more.
Yes, must move around the house aimlessly like a ghoul woman, just not getting anything done.
That's how I feel when I have this. I'm just like a ghoul.
Yes, and I always get stuck in that, and it's really hard to get myself out of that like tunnel vision of like, gotta get something done, and then I get nothing done.
Yeah.
So if you can work on pulling yourself out of that and sitting and tapping. And the sessions on this app, at least, are usually around like 10 minutes, but they also have quicker one that's like a quick boost of focus, a quick boost of
tap.
optimism. Yeah, it'll be like 3 to 5 minutes.
Instead of like 8-minute abs, it's
5-minute tap.
5-minute tab.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options. You can even tap on things. It's very specific on this app, which I really like. They'll even give you things like letting go of something I said, letting go of something someone else said. So even things like that where you're having that playing that mental conversation in your head over and over of like, I can't believe I said that. Or if you're like upset about something someone said to you and you're having trouble letting it go, they even have tapping sessions for that where you can work on releasing that mental anxiety about, I said something embarrassing or stupid or whatever. So I really like that too. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And so then we don't have to, bury that down deep. Isn't that nice? No, it's not. Pull it out. All right. I kind of talked about, I didn't really talk about the history. So the history is quick. The origins of tapping. It started, as I said, from ancient Chinese medicine, with the development of acupuncture, which uses needles on the energy pathways. And then EFT was founded by Dr. Roger Callahan in 1979. He learned applied kinesiology and studied the meridian system of acupuncture in search of solutions to some of the problems his patients encountered, particularly those with anxiety and phobias.
Oh.
He took the next step to bring the tapping procedures into a different form of psychological treatment. Callahan has discovered that if a person focuses on a specific fear at the time they tap, this fear can be reduced or eliminated. And it can also work for like physical pain. They've had a lot of benefits for people with PTSD.
Really?
Yeah, it really does have some pretty crazy results.
That's wild.
I know. All right. So does tapping really work? So this is an article from Attitude Magazine.
Yeah.
Titled, What is EFT Tapping and Can It Calm the ADHD Brain? By Kate Moryasef. Should have looked up how you said that. I know that
you got it.
I know that Tracy Otsuka of ADHD for Smartass Women with Tracy Otsuka.
Yep.
I know that she had Kate on at some point to talk about EFT because Tracy is very excited about this. And it can have a lot of benefits for ADHDers, specifically because we have so many of these things that we've buried down deep, of so many little shames that we like carry with us.
Yeah.
So tapping on those types of things can also be really helpful for managing your ADHD.
Nice.
So in this article, Kate says EFT is considered an alternative therapy. Research is still limited, but still many studies link EFT to positive outcomes. One study in 2020 found that participants under an EFT intervention showed significant improvement in anxiety symptoms, as well as decreased cortisol levels compared to controls. And another study in 2012 found that it can reduce biological markers of stress. And yeah, essentially, it just really can release that anxiety from the body, and it's pretty impressive. So what do you need to tap? Well, you got to polish up your shoes. No, we're done with that. So you really just need that one's on me.
Some good music and a fun attitude.
Yeah, maybe a little audience to get you going. So you really just need a calm, quiet space and fingers, I would say, arms as well, but some way to tap on those points essentially.
I think you can tap without fingers. Like if you didn't have any fingers, you could tap with nubs.
Yeah, you could tap with nubs, or if you could like hold something, you could probably tap with something that, I don't know, would give you that same
I wonder
input.
if people without arms could tap with their feet.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I won't just say fingers. You need a way to tap on your face and body. So
there you go.
Whatever way you're doing that, it's possible for you.
Yeah.
The way to get started, I mean, it's not really something that you can do on your own. It's not like meditating where you can just like read about it and you're like, okay, I'm going to, do a few minutes on my own. You really kind of have to use either an app or like a guided session on YouTube or another place because, like I said, there's a kind of specific script or a way of doing it, of going through the different phases. But you can really get started with that app. Like I said, they have some really short ones also. So I think starting with a shorter one would be great, and just getting yourself to do it a few times and feeling the results is really, I think, the best way to get yourself to do it. Because if we don't have a good reason for why we're doing this thing, we're not going to do it. So I think the focus, if you are going to start tapping, is focusing on getting yourself to pay attention to how much calmer your body feels. And that will be very motivating for you, because just doing it because this is a thing Grace does that I should probably do is not a good motivator. But trying it out yourself and doing a few quick sessions. I do.
You don't know that?
Have you tapped yet?
No.
How long have I been talking about tapping?
Since we've known each other since 5th grade.
No. Yep, we've known each other way longer than 5th grade, first of all.
Since you're like 5.
I've been talking about it for like the last half a year, I would say. But still, for the last 6 months, I've been telling you should tap. Christopher, you and Christopher should tap.
I know. We should
a tapping duo.
I just thought of something.
Yes.
They should have named the app Tap Out of It. Or like snap out of it, but tap out of it.
I like it. Tap that app.
That's a come on, man. The tapping solution? No. Tap out of it. That's way better.
Well, business is so much to start, just not us. But
tap
maybe
out
us.
of it. Make a better tapping app that's not fat phobic.
Because that's my dream, is one of my many dreams, is to have an ADHD specific tapping app.
Oh.
So if someone wants to come up with an ADHD specific tapping app and call it
Tap Out of It.
Tap Out of It.
You're welcome to take that.
Yes, please. But as always, we get 50% of the profits.
Yeah.
So
you can hit our lawyers up for that.
Yep. Jessica Campbellshire.
And Sons.
And Sons. Don't forget about the Sons.
Yeah.
All right. And last thing on tapping is this good for ADHDers? And I'm going to say yes.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Not that I've done it, but I have a good feeling about it.
All right. Well, as long as you have a good feeling. So Kate said from the Attitude Magazine article, she said that she uses and recommends EFT for active meditation, which is exactly what it is. And that's the perfect way to say it. She says, which is perfect for those of us who find it stressful to keep still or who even find it soothing to fidget.
Oh my God. I hate when you're like, you just need to meditate and clear your mind. It's never clear.
No. And that's wrong. You're not supposed to clear your mind. You're supposed to work on just noticing your thoughts. And so that's a bad setup. We won't have clear minds. It's impossible. And that's why I think that active meditation is so much better for us, because it gives you something to do. You're not just like sitting there trying to just do the mental work. You're physically moving your body. And then the time always flies by for me because I'm just doing the things. I'm following the instructions. You know, it's very explicit with what you have to do and the instructions. So I really like it, where I know exactly what to do.
And they tell you where to tap.
Yep. And on the app, it'll show a person's body, and it'll like light up in different areas.
Okay.
Where it'll be like
That's
side of the hand, and it'll show you. And then after a few times, you'll know where all the points are.
Okay.
But the app does a really good job of like guiding you through where exactly you're going to tap.
Huh. Is this something you should do like every day?
I'm not going to say you should do it every day because that's not reasonable, but I think it would benefit you to do it every day. But I think a better focus for ADHDers would be to use it when you're having those big moments of anxiety or stress, or like not being able to sleep or panicking about this thing. So whether you just use it when that feeling comes up for you during the day, or you do want to like tap every night or every other night before bed, however you do it, in whatever amount you do it, is beneficial. So even if you're just starting with a little amount, that's still beneficial, and you will feel the difference pretty immediately in your body. And that's what I like about it too. It gives you that really fast feedback, you know?
Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Tap it in.
Tap, tap, tap.
Tap, tap, tap.
All right. So Kate says, I have my clients tap on cortisol reducing meridian points while repeating statements, which works to reduce the intensity of the problem at hand, allowing for more clarity and a shift in perspective.
Ooh.
This approach is also helpful in getting clients to acknowledge and accept difficult feelings rather than suppress them with misguided affirmations or reframing. I love that. I love the way she said that. So instead of just trying to like bury it down deep with, toxic positivity of just trying to do like these positive affirmations.
Fine.
Yeah. So like for the money,
I am okay.
like the money thing, for example, instead of just trying to think positive affirmations of money comes to me easily and naturally, the tapping on the money issue really gets at the root of it, because even with those affirmations, that stress and fear of thinking about money is still living in your body. And the affirmations are kind of just you slapping a pretty coat on top of it, but it's still rotted underneath. So the tapping will help you kind of think through those things that we normally try to avoid thinking about. Like, what would happen if I let go a little of the stress about money? And then it gets you to kind of realize, like, stressing about this is doing nothing. You know, we know that logically, but it's something about as you're tapping, you can like accept it into your body and your heart and your soul. And that's what I like about it. I feel like it really like gets the message in there.
Mm.
And Kate also talks about how tapping is a great tool to have in your ADHD toolbox. And she says, now that I have tapping and breath work in my toolkit, I find that my equilibrium is easier to manage and I feel more balanced than any time in my life.
Really?
If I haven't used tapping for a few days, I notice that I'm more likely to overreact or begin to feel like my racing, restless thoughts are becoming more prominent. Most mornings, when my family life doesn't take over, I'll do a few minutes of tapping and intentional breathing before I get out of bed. I consider it a preventative method to reset my emotional baseline and ensure that I'm starting my day with a positive mindset, calm mind, and a tension-free body. Not only does the tapping rebalance my inner restlessness, but it also helps me see where I'm holding stress and tension in my body. And I thought that was perfectly put. That's exactly what it does. That's exactly how it feels. It really does feel like you're kind of just like wiping the slate clean. And you can kind of look at these issues from an outside perspective instead of being really caught up in the emotion of it.
Got it.
And,
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's my hobby collectors about tapping.
Oh.
That's what I had.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for listening after a bit.
I'm ready to tap it out.
Yeah, maybe we could tap later.
That would be another great app name. Tap it out.
Tap it out.
Tap, 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 tap.
You got a lot of tapping names, don't you?
I'm full of them.
You're full of something. All right. We need to get this thing moving and winding down.
Road.
So, on the road again. So, without further ado, it's time for Alternative Segments!
Pew, 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 pew.
Wow! Alternative
Segments.
Alternative Segments!
On this week's Alternative Segments, this was recommended by a listener.
Yes, we're kind of doing a little twist on a listener suggestion.
Listener's suggestion was, where did this bruise come from?
Yes, it might have been Jamie who requested this. I'll have to look it up.
Was it on the Facebook group?
No, it's going to be too hard to find. It wasn't an email, but it might have been Jamie. And if it wasn't, Grace, cut this out.
Okay.
But, so we wanted to do a little play on where this bruise come from. Thank you for the suggestion, by the way. And we're going to do where'd this injury come from? Because we both have random injuries right now.
Random injuries, yep.
So, Kristin, where'd that injury come from?
I am old.
Yes.
And I pulled a muscle, and that muscle happens to be like my upper butt.
Yeah, the UB.
The UB
region.
And it was like super painful, and my job can be pretty physical sometimes when you're standing for 4 or 6 hours at a time in awkward situations and stuff. So I was like struggling. Luckily, Christopher, in his many jobs in between his Hot Topic gig and his dog grooming gig.
He's going to love the Hot Topic.
I know.
Shout out.
He doesn't listen anymore.
Good.
He also used to be a massage therapist, and he was trying to figure out like what muscle it was. And he's like, oh, I've seen this with people who like stand on one leg a lot. Like, have you been standing a lot? And I'm like, yeah, I just like had multiple 4+ hour surgeries to do. So I pulled my muscle by standing for too long is what it came out to be.
That is a pretty lame injury.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I must have like tweaked it somehow. He's like, no, I think you're just standing on one leg for too long and you just pulled it.
Yep.
And
just standing.
So
well, maybe you should.
Where'd that injury come from standing?
Well, maybe you should say surgery. It's a surgery accident. Sounds cooler.
I think, just standing. Just because some surgeries you don't have to stand for.
Oh, okay. All right. Standing injury.
It makes me sad.
Well, that's aging for you.
Yeah, it's really, really hitting the self-esteem. But
so it happens when you're in your 30s.
Yeah, maybe I'll tap about it later.
Yeah, tap on it.
Grace?
Yes?
Where'd this injury come from?
All right. Well, I have a ginormous, like pretty significant scrape.
Almost a
Arm.
gash.
Yeah, it went pretty deep.
A small gash, a smash.
Yeah, it might even leave me a scar. So I have this ginormous, like, smash, giant, like, deep scratch all down my arm and hand, and it came from a curtain rod.
Nice.
Because you know the type where they like click, it's like the black curtain rods, and you have to like put the little brackets up on the wall first, and then you have to like
clip it in. You just clip it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to reach up and clip it in, but it was, I should have gotten a stool, but I was like, no, I'll just take care of it now, which always never works out. And I was on my tippy toes trying to like get it clicked in, and it didn't quite click in. And then the curtain rod like fell and scraped all the way down my arm, like a pretty big gash down my arm. And people keep asking me about it. They're like, oh my God, what happened? Curtain rod injury. I was hanging a curtain and I wasn't tall enough. So yeah, my injury came from a curtain rod because I was not tall enough to hang a curtain.
Nice.
Pretty lame. I don't know which one's lamer. Which one's lamer? Let us know.
Standing or curtain rod?
Yeah. All right. This has been Alternative Segments. Wow! Alternative Segments. All right. And as we wind down this little tap episode,
tapping our way down to the station
where there's a tap dance floor, and good thing we wore our tap shoes because now we're going to do a synchronized tap dance for you. And all of that is to say, it's time for pizza secrets.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that, but yeah.
I was trying to kind of make it like the horse train metaphor where you're pulling into the station, but this time we're all headed down to the tap dancing station because
the curtain is closing on the tap show.
Yep.
And it's time for the final act.
Yes.
The conclusion.
Yep.
Pizza secrets.
All right. Let's do that song.
All right.
Pizza secrets, tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets!
Pizza secrets.
Also, I was saying the other day, we absolutely love people rewriting and re-recording better versions of our segment songs. The only one that we will not accept any notes on, any improvements, because there are no improvements, is our Pizza Secrets song. Secrets. It's perfect the way it is.
It's already perfect. So
it's a work of art.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please.
You can work on any other song except for Pizza Secrets.
Let us have this. Yeah. We're proud of it. And please don't come in with a better version because we love our Pizza Secrets song.
Although, if you do, we'll definitely play it.
Yeah, probably. But it'll be one of those things where it's like, this is so much better than ours. Just like with all our other segment songs that listeners have decided to make better.
I love the listener.
I do too. But I love our Pizza Secrets
I do like our Pizza Secret songs. We can play both.
It's sacred in my heart.
Yeah. Why don't I go first?
Yes.
Mine is called I Take Directions Well.
That sounds like a sarcastic title.
Well, it is. No, I would say in this story, I took them extremely well.
Okay, let's hear it.
My dad taught me how to drive.
Yes, unfortunately.
Did not go well. I'm not a great driver.
Well, did he teach you? Or did he say, here's the gas, here's the brake?
This is the story I'm going to tell.
Okay.
I was 15, and my dad's like, okay, it's time for you to learn how to drive. And my brother was like a natural. I think he just kind of he played a lot of racing games, and he would drive our boat, and he would drive my grandfather's lawnmower, his ride-on lawnmower and stuff like that. So he already had driving most things down. Not me. I came in. I came in fresh. I would like to say. You want
to have a
fresh mind, and we're
no previous.
I don't even
knowledge.
know. It was just like an afternoon. My dad's like, "Let's learn how to drive," and I was like, "Okay." So my dad's truck is in the driveway, and we live in a small neighborhood. There's a house directly across the street from the driveway. Nana, remember Nana?
Yes, I remember.
I love her. R.I.P. Nana.
R.I.P. Nana.
And so he's like, "Okay, get in," and he's just quick. I knew where the blinker was. I knew where the key went. I know where the steering wheel is.
Yep, I would hope so.
I've got the basics.
I think there's more basics than that, but you got the basics of the basics.
I got the basics of the basics. And then he was like, here's the brake. Here's the go pedal. What's it called?
The gas?
The gas!
Here's the go pedal. I can definitely see your dad calling it the go pedal.
No, here's the brake. Here's the gas. When you're ready, put it in drive and hit the gas. That was the only instruction.
What is wrong with him?
No one told me that the car already went
Oh, without
putting the gas. It already goes. It's already in motion. And I guess I was just hit the gas and I just fucking floored it.
Oh, I bet you did.
I burnt rubber and I almost hit the curb going up into our neighbor Nana's house.
God.
And so he's like, yeah, I hit the gas, and I'm just like,
hit
like
the gas.
burning rubber, and then we just fly.
Oh my God.
And he goes, hit the brake.
Good thing you didn't go through her house.
I know. And he just like, we do like both like, I don't even think he was wearing a seatbelt because he didn't think that was going to happen. He like almost hits the windshield.
Oh my God.
Like, I was buckled in.
Good. Safety first.
Yeah. And he goes, okay, that's enough for today. I'll put it back.
What?
And then we never spoke of it.
Oh my God. Okay. That is 100%
Like,
on him.
we'll try again later. And that was it. And my mom's like laughing at me. She's like, you almost killed him.
That was on him.
I know it was on him. I was like, you told me to hit the gas. He's like, well, I didn't think you were going to hit the gas.
Don't
I was
say-
like, I took your direction. I did exactly what you said.
You are very literal, I will say, with things.
Well, he said hit the gas, and I was like, oh.
Instead of like
Nailed it.
gently apply the gas,
Right.
why would you tell someone to hit it?
It is literally my first time ever driving, and he's just like, hit. I think because Nick was, I don't know.
But even then, even with Nick, I wouldn't get in and day one be like, all right, hit it. Because like in a speedboat, when you're driving and someone says hit it, you want to take off really fast to get the tube or water skier up and going.
And I think that's what I was thinking. I've driven a boat before.
Yeah, and you want to go from like 0 to 60 real fast.
Real fast because you want to like get above the plane of the water.
Yes.
Water tension. It's all coming back to chemistry.
Yes.
Like it always does.
Totally.
Anyway, I almost drove into my poor Nana's house, and luckily I don't think she was home at the time.
Thank God.
Pizza secret.
That's a great pizza secret. And I'm gonna say you shouldn't hold any of that blame.
No, I don't. Right now, like at the time, I was like, "Holy shit!" I almost killed myself and my dad.
Yeah, almost drove
and probably
through a
Nana.
house.
Yeah, but now that I can like look back and reflect, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think it's funny as well. No one got hurt, and it's all okay.
No, it's totally fine. I
Yeah.
definitely was embarrassed for a very long time.
Well, no longer.
If you're a driving instructor, please reach out to us at weirdsofeather@gmail.com.
Yeah, we want to hear your stories. I bet you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grace,
Yes.
what's your pizza secret?
All right, my pizza secret is called Secret Nuggies.
Ooh, I love it. Chicken nuggets?
No,
Love them.
a different kind of nuggie,
Oh,
but just as lovely and delightful.
lovely.
Yeah. All right, so I had one of those like Sherpa blankets, so like Sherpa fabric, that thick like
I hate it.
yeah, I don't.
Is it like the hard Sherpa or like the stupidly soft Sherpa?
It's like the pretty thick Sherpa, so it's like where
Stiff?
like stiff, yeah, thick.
Okay,
Stiff.
I like the thick, stiff Sherpa, but the like almost like micro. It's like when you first get it, it's like stupidly soft, but the second you bring it home, it like mats like nobody's business.
Actually, that might be the one that I had
Okay.
on this blanket, because the problem was that things kept getting caught in the Sherpa in this blanket. So, we're just like using, it's like a couch blanket that we got, and you would find like little things that get stuck in the
because
Sherpa.
it mats so easily.
Yes, yeah.
And you're just like,
So-
how am I supposed to clean this?
Yeah, so it's like,
It's an
dirt
uncleanable
and
cloth.
dog hair. Yeah, it just really gets like stuck in there. I would have like little pieces of thread from needle pointing.
Oh God.
There would be like little pieces of thread all caught up in the Sherpa. And so I used it for a while, and then I stopped using it because it was holding too many things and it was dirty. I didn't like it. But then when I worked at the preschool for a bit, it was really cold in the office. And so I was like, oh, I should bring in a little school blanket that I can have on my lap while I'm working. So I brought in the Sherpa blanket, just think I could use it in the office. So I'm sitting at my desk one day, just typing away on an IEP or whatever. I have my Sherpa blanket on my lap. I'm at a preschool, like a full-on, their kids next door. I look down at my lap at the blanket, and there's this big nugget of weed stuck in the Sherpa because it had like fallen at home somewhere. I wasn't bringing my nugs to school, but one of our little weed nuggies fell and got caught in the Sherpa,
God.
and I didn't notice.
Did you eat it?
Yeah, I just gobbled it right down.
You're like, oh, you gotta get rid of it.
Hide the evidence. No, I just looked down like, oh, fuck. There's weed right there that I brought into
It's
this preschool.
oregano.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
oregano.
I cook a lot. And so I think I probably just like put it in my bag, and I was like, I should probably look at the rest of this blanket. And I looked at the blanket, and there's like tiny little sprinklings of weed all throughout this blanket. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my
I can't believe I brought this into a preschool, and there's just like weed nuggies all stuck in my blankie. So good thing a kid never used it or borrowed it, because God. I'm not usually that irresponsible, and I would never bring weed to school.
Not on purpose.
Unless it's an accident.
It's got to be wrapped in Sherpa first.
Yes, and it's got to be a secret nuggie.
A secret nuggie.
Yep. Pizza secret!
Pizza secret!
Yeah.
Aww.
Hire me to work at your preschool. I'm a great employee.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That's been our show.
That is our show.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content and you would like to listen for more things, follow us on all the podcast things. And then give us a like. You can also give us a review. 5 stars only. We really appreciate it.
Yep. But if you are going to give us a 1 star, will you at least let us know why? Like,
if you're
write
leaving
us a comment.
Here's a if you're leaving a bad review, you got to tell us why.
Yes,
got to know.
Because we got a 1 star, but I don't know why. I just assume because
I'll kill him. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, there's a plethora of reasons of why.
Yeah, I'm not saying like we got a 1 star and you're like, yeah, it's okay. Some people don't like us. It's fine. But like, I want to know why.
Yeah, it's fine that you don't like us because, like we say, we're not for everyone. And
clearly,
if you don't like us, we don't want you here.
Right.
But we would like to know why you don't like us exactly. Tell us what you don't like about us at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. Or
this is not going to affect our mental health at all.
No, we do really well. We don't have rejection sensitive dysphoria.
No.
I take feedback super well.
Yeah. I never cry.
No. I never stay up at night thinking about the mean things people said to me. You can follow us on Instagram at Weirds of a Feather. You can come check out our polls on Monday evenings-ish, Tuesday mornings-ish.
Depending on your timeline.
You can also find us in the Facebook group, Weirds of a Feather Facebook group. Come check it out.
We have a mascot. Her name's Lady Gaga, the chicken. Yes. I love her. Yes. Iconic.
Yeah, there's pictures of her in this Facebook group, our official mascot.
Yep.
So go check her out. And
lots of different discussions happening there.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's a nice little community.
Yeah.
We're also on TikTok, kind of.
I think we stopped saying it for now.
Okay.
Until we're ready to get back in there.
That's
and then
fair.
So for now, don't bother with TikTok. Facebook group and Instagram. That's really where it's at.
And the email.
Yes, it's bumping in the email.
Yeah.
So send us an email, and at some point we will probably read it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you tap tonight. Please tap. Let me know if you guys tap and try it out, because that would be great.
Send us your tapping
videos
of you tapping.
Tap dancing.
Tap dancing.
Tapping while you're tapping.
Oh, double tap.
Double tap.
I
am not a big fatso, and I don't hate myself.
Yeah, don't be fat phobic with your tapping, okay? I know it's hard when you have an app that is fat phobic.
Yes, but let's all work on body neutrality in our tapping. My body is the way it is, and that's okay. All right. That's it. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Should we
squat? Yeah.
Squawk.
Should we? Oh. Yeah, squawk it out. What is that? A shy bird.
It's a shy bird.
Who's found his voice.
Oh.
It's a new one.
That is, I thought it was a monkey at first, but I got it.
Oh, speaking of that, as we're fading out, Ian came up with a really good game for guests of bird cry or Kristin. Where we'll pre-record you making some bird cries, and then we'll also have some real bird cries, and we'll play it for the guest, and they'll have to guess.
That's great Patreon content.
Yeah, good call. Because every single one, it's going to be like, Kristin. That's obviously Kristin. Yep, that's obviously Kristin. And once again, Kristin. Spot the difference. Who can tell?
We'll throw in a couple of your bird cries just to really screw them up.
Mix things up.
Yeah.